evening, everyone, and welcome to the final episode of this season one of Volleytalk. And it's my absolute privilege to welcome you all. By the way, if you are joining in for the first time on Volleytalk, let me tell you what this show is all about. Volleytalk is a very innovative show with respect to volleyball, wherein we analyze all the matches, we analyze the data, the stats, etc. And we have some amazing volleyball experts. They can be commentators in our last episode, match winners, coaches, celebrity players, and all that. But today we have someone very, very special, and it's my privilege to introduce to you one of the co-owners of the Rupe Prime Volleyball League and the main owner of a dynamic but young team. Let me welcome to you Mr. Abhishek Reddy, sir. I welcome you, sir. Just giving a little background for all the audience. Abhishek sir is the CEO and the director of Dave Pixel. He's an amazing innovator and an entrepreneur with more than 20 years in business leadership experience. He has a wide portfolio of ventures, diverse portfolio of ventures encompassing sports teams, IT, media, logistics, restaurants, you name it, and probably sir is present in all of that. He's a serial entrepreneur, and it's my absolute privilege to welcome Abhishek sir. Welcome to Volleytalk, sir. How are you doing?
Thanks, Arov. That sounds a little bigger than life introduction for me, but thank you nevertheless. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you, sir. That's your humility speaking, actually. Sir, we'll go straight into the question. Sir, you are an active investor in different leagues. You are with Bangalore Raptors in Badminton Premier League. You are with Bengaluru Brawlers in Boxing League, and now Hyderabad in Prime Volleyball League. Sir, tell us a little bit about your love for sports leagues first. We would love to know about that, sir.
Sure. Yeah. Well, when you asked, Bengaluru Raptors, it sort of started as a business opportunity. I mean, with sports, there's a line that you kind of tread for a short while where you sort of see the business angle and the opportunity it brings in. But eventually, passion takes over. So I don't know many owners in any leagues for that matter who view sports as, from the same business barometer as their own mainstream businesses, other mainstream business. So for a Hyderabadi to go against the city in support of Bangalore was always like an emotional dilemma for me. So when the opportunity did come up, I took up the volleyball league for a Hyderabad franchise. So it was sort of a no-brainer for me.
Amazing. That was actually my one related question to this was you had two Bangalore franchises and this time Hyderabad as a franchise.
Right.
What are you more passionate about, or is it like a business decision, or is it like also a passion come business decision?
Yeah, it's interesting. Actually, I preluded you into that question, but yeah, as I said, it starts off as a business opportunity, right? But eventually, it's always a passion that takes over. And between Bangalore and Hyderabad, I mean, Bangalore was a bigger market for badminton, and so it was sort of us going towards Bangalore because there's a lot of scope in Bangalore because Hyderabad was already picking up anyway. But again, the heart always beats for your own city, and so the reason why Hyderabad.
Well said, sir. Well said. So my next question is, tell us a little bit process of when you decided to become an owner for Prime Volleyball League. How does an owner really go about it? How does one appoint the coaches, the support staff, everything? Just could you walk us through a process that an owner has to go through for the Prime Volleyball League, please?
Yeah, I mean, of course, after the initial excitement of just imagining yourself as an owner, which means you've got the responsibility of all the fans behind you, right? It's not if you own any other business, it's your own business, and as a matter of fact, it's where you want to take the business to. But you can just stay back, own a franchise and say, hey, here we are, we own Hyderabad Blackhawks or whatever, because there's a huge responsibility for the city that we belong to. So cannot be taken up lightly. So as a matter of fact, the experience that I had with badminton, that definitely did help a long way here. We kind of knew who we wanted to take along, with us. So we had three partners anyway, just to give you some introduction here. I've got Sham Gopu and Deepak Gullapalli and myself who are involved with the original Pro Volleyball League, which sort of got into some legal problems, and then we kind of decided that we'll get involved with the Prime Volleyball League without, of course, the federation and all of that. So So that right there, picking the right partners, was the first right decision to do as an owner, right? Because you're in bed for a really long time here. When you take up a city's franchise, as I said, you represent the city for who knows, maybe 20 years, 50 years. So having the right partners is the right thing, and we absolutely nailed it on that front. And then we go about obviously the auction and the manager and who's going to help us with the auction. And when we are doing all of this, we kind of realize that there's an opportunity for us, to bring in a foreign coach, and we kind of realize that that would elevate what is expected from coaching standards within the country. Nothing to say that the coaching standards in the country is low; it's actually quite high. But sometimes when you get in a foreign mix into it, you kind of get introduced to things that you're not usually familiar with. So there's certain place that happens that's quite unnatural for us Indians. So it's a learning process. So the partners first, the manager. We had Vamshi, who is a team director. We kind of passed it along from our badminton. He kind of managed superstars like PV Sindhu and Carolina Marin and all of that. So he comes in with great experience. So that's how we go about it.
Amazing, great to know that, sir. And you mentioned that picking the right team. I think not just in terms of ownership, but also picking up the right team in terms of players are also equally important. So
Right.
you mentioned about involvement of a foreign coach and your thought process behind this. How was that experience working with Ruben sir there, and what was your experience, sir? What to say?
Oh, so I think it worked for both of us. And when Ruben was, we kind of negotiating the contract with Ruben. We kind of gave him a picture of what it would be to come into India and work with the league and all of that. Ruben was slightly apprehensive, I would say, because obviously it's an unknown factor. He's got to take away his time from the European leagues and come down here. But I think his experience has, I mean, the way he tells us, I mean, you probably have him on one of your shows as well. But the way he talks about it is absolutely great to hear that as a league we're doing phenomenal. I mean, he attests to that fact that we're doing really good. Now, from our perspective, he's a thorough professional. He's absolutely what we expected him to be, and a little more as well. The boys like him, we like him. Along with the coach, we also have an analyst, which is a sports analyst who looks at the video, comes back with the plays. There's a lot of things we've done quite differently with a very young team. I mean, the kind of setup we have right now, I don't know if you realize, but we lost our top two best players in the league, and any other team with that effect would not have even won a single game. For us to get into the finals is an absolute privilege, and we're absolutely proud of it because we lost Henry Bell, who is supposed to be our number one pick. Our number two pick is Rohit. Most teams can't survive with losing two. But here we are, in the semifinals, and of course we lost the semifinals. But yeah, it was touch
No,
and go.
but sir, on this, I must say that as a build up to the semi-finals, etc., the way your team performed, especially all the youngsters, it was so heartwarming to watch. And seeing everybody's passion out there when you see on television, it was amazing to watch. Guru was fantastic, and everyone. I'm just not naming a few players here, but I think everyone contributed as a team overall. So that was amazing to see.
Right. Right. It's interesting, right? Because sports, I mean, takes away some opportunities, but gives more opportunities as well. When Henry Bell and Rohit got injured, that was a stage set for Guru to shine. And it's unfortunate that we didn't have the service of Henry Bell, who, according to Bruno, who played in the league as well, is an absolute animal to watch. He's a beast. I mean, it was unfortunate for the country to not see him perform here, but that gave us Guru. I mean, it's obvious that what Guru did on the stage was phenomenal as well. So I'm glad things worked out.
Superb, sir. Absolutely. Sir, I wanted to ask you one more question. How does a team owner really motivate his players? How do you do that as a person? Do you do pep talks with them before the match, or you just let them be, enjoy? What is your mantra, if I have to ask you?
As an owner, I do take a very hands-off approach with the team. While I'm really involved with the marketing, the PR, the off-the-ground activities, being closely involved with production and optics on television and all of that. In general, I make sure that things are smooth and they don't reach the players, as in no issues come to the players. So I make sure the players are in a bubble where they end up performing. Again, as I said, Vamshi, our team director, stayed in the bubble and has done a phenomenal job with handling these players. As I said, he's got the experience with superstars, so he can work with the pulse of the players and all of that. So I don't want to throw a wrench into that mix. Obviously, I'm always there to support them, but I think they have enough people to give them pep talks. Maybe once, but at most, that's what I do. I think we have a phenomenal coach who can do that. We've got Tom Joseph, who connects well with the players, and we got the players themselves who are professionals, who are absolute thorough professionals. So I don't think they need us to tell them how much they need to win a game. But if it helps, maybe we'll introduce somebody else who can do that pep talk, but it doesn't have to come from me.
Interesting, sir. Okay, sir, I wanted to ask one more question, and before I introduce our second guest as well, and we have today's, the final episode of this season. So we have some interesting contest between the two guests as well. So all the viewers out there, please stay tuned for that. We are going to have some fun as well. So one more question I have, yours was completely a young team. Like if I look at the average age, maybe it was around 22, 23 years of age.
23.7 to be very specific. Yeah.
Right. So, when and you also mentioned that you lost two of your, top players or top picks, so as to speak. Tell us a little bit more about the team chemistry and the back end things with Hyderabad that was happening before the matches, and how is it with working with the raw talent? Is it easy? Is it easily moldable, or is it more difficult? Or just tell us a little bit about the background experience as well.
Yeah, you led the answer, right there. The word that easily moldable, right? What happens with youngsters is they're open to coaching, open to different approaches. We've actually, as a matter of fact, Pro Volleyball League, we had made a conscious choice to pick youngsters because for the longevity of the game as well with us. And we kind of picked Guru because obviously we've seen him in the previous league 2 years back. So from that experience, Guru and some of the other players, look at Anand, for example. I mean, he's 19-year-old. If you see him on the court and coming around to his fans and asking them to cheer for the team, I mean, that's an amazing sight. And that comes with youth and exuberance. And I think, we've got really lucky with some of these youngsters. And I think as a team, our goal is to make sure that, some of these guys become superstars, which I've said at the beginning of the auction. We had a particular strategy not to go for the big guns, because what we thought there was that, we'd get a team that is, as you said, more moldable, and we'll go for a foreign coach and see what difference it makes to these youngsters. And I think they've learned a lot. They've attested to that. And I believe, that's, yeah.
That's amazing to know, sir. That's amazing to know. And, a lot of times we don't get to hear the background stories, especially the viewers. And I think they would be delighted to know what all is happening behind the scenes. I would just like to take a moment, sir, and introduce our second guest for today. And he is none other than Mr. Pawan Patodia, sir, a highly, highly experienced professional. Just giving a little bit background about our dynamic and dashing Pawan, sir. He is a master in commerce and has a diploma in taxation law. Being an expert, Pawan, sir, possesses multi-industry management knowledge across, which includes joint ventures, sports organizations, franchisee business, a lot of amazing knowledge, sir, Pawan, sir has. Simultaneously, he is also a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India with an executive MBA from XIMB Bhubaneswar. He is the chairman and director of Pulkit Wiener Mills Private Limited. And of course, how can I forget, the owner, the chairman of Kolkata Thunderbolts. So welcome, Pawan, sir. How are you doing?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Saurav sir, for inviting me for this show. And I'm really excited and really thankful to all the team of Volleytalk to invite me. And it is always a pleasure to be on your show. So we can start with the show.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So I would want to go straight into something very interesting. I'll start with you, Pawan, sir, for the first question. And let me just showcase a video for all the audience today. And I want to talk about some key players from your team first. Okay, so a quick video. about your team, Pawan sir. Would you like to talk about any of these players in particular, how they have impacted, how has it been for all of
Yeah, definitely. See, in this video, we see Vineet Kumar in action, and after his uh, he's a universal player, and after his seeing his performance in the matches, we have bisected his name from Vineet to Win it. Uh, like Aswal Kumar, all my friends all over the country, I have made about 32 groups of 256 people where I'm sharing the informations about the match and everything. And they keep asking, when Aswal is going to play. When after three matches, he was, because of injury, he could not play the fourth one. Rahul, of course, he surprised everyone yesterday with two super sub. I don't know what Aswal spoke in his ear, but suddenly we saw that we were down 7-0, and then suddenly we became 8-1, 9-1, and then 11-11.
right?
This kind of game I have never seen in my life. And trust me, sir, I have been spending a lot of time with these players. On ground, they look very aggressive, but off ground, like if I give example of Rahul, yesterday I asked him to make a video, with arms spread. राहुल नाम तो सुना होगा. बोला सर सर जाने दो सर, कल मैच है सर, अभी जाने दो, मेरे को आराम करने दो. So that's how he is. So all these players are, fantastic soul. I don't know why this game did not get recognition for all these years. It was long due. And with now Prime Volley League, I'm sure that all these players who are equally good at international level, so they will start playing for the country. They'll start getting their recognition, and with people like Avi, Safir, they are the inspiration. I was just telling Safir this morning only that Safir, sir, perhaps you are the youngest owner of this league, and I am the perhaps maybe the oldest owner of the team. And trust me, Safir, you are my inspiration. So these guys, they are born with the genes of volleyball. So, now nobody can stop this volleyball becoming famous. I tell you, it's a matter of time, maybe 1 year or maybe 2 year. But I tell you, sir, for me, 10 years down the line, I have created enough memories in last 24 days. And I'll cherish this moment for next 10 years. And I'll be talking to my grandchildren that look, मैं ऐसा पागलपन किया था. I did this and I did that. That is the, मतलब जितना सर 1,000 करोड़ रुपए कमा के मजा नहीं आया सर, उतना मजा ये 24 दिनों में. I'm not talking of Calcutta Thunderbolt, sir, as a whole. I have seen अभी गुरु छा गए, and I used to shout, गुरु छा गए. Then Safir ke team mein, the only thing, ugly I did in the matches, what, when I was, Safir, this David Lee was looking at me, I was bouncing on my chest to copy him. Otherwise, sir, throughout this tournament, I tell you, sir, and the way Avi and this team has organized this shifting of venue from Kochi to Hyderabad in 10 days is remarkable. It really doesn't fit into my mind that how can things be so organized so nicely. And sir, I'm really impressed. I've been a management man, as you said, but this is not management. This is third level. 2 steps ahead. These people have taken already the game 2 steps above. So now only glory has to come, and Bigul and band I can start hearing now. So maybe in my life only I will be able to see that yes, volleyball players are sold for 5 crores or 2 crores or 10 crores. That time may come in 10 years or 8 years.
Definitely, sir. Sir, there are two things that I wanted to mention. One was, I was speaking to Joy sir also on one of the episodes of Volleytalk, and he mentioned this that volleyball is like a sleeping giant, and it's just waiting to take off because it's so easy to play. All you need is a ball and a net, kind of a thing,
And
and
that's right.
hardly any infrastructure. One more thing I wanted to mention was, I think both of you as owners, you are kind of the flag bearers of volleyball as well in your respective cities. Because Abhishek sir, you were mentioning about fans and taking responsibility. I think all of them are very lucky in both the respective cities. Are very lucky to have dynamic owners like you, who have not just taken up the responsibility but also dilo jaan se pura support kar rahe hain. So that's really nice to see both of you, Pawan sir and Abhishek sir. Yeah.
Saurav, I think it's also the way this is set up because, if you look at this league is all about how the owners and everybody else coming together to be part of the Prime Volleyball League, right? Well, Pawan sir was just mentioning, that we moved the venue from Kochi because the case, COVID cases and all of that, there was a variable where we couldn't kind of control and wanted to get that down to Hyderabad so that this happens, right? So, but having said that, the reason why this even happened was because everybody supported. There's a way where Mr. Pawan has supported as well, and it wasn't just the job of the technical team or just baseline or somebody. It was like a big marriage in a family, right? I keep going back to that.
Yeah.
Everybody has a role to play, and I believe the format itself is such a way that this happens. And you're saying you're flag bearers. I would really want to keep that focus back on the players. I would say we are facilitators. We want to be in the background, make sure the players shine, and I think that's what Pawan sir was talking about as well. It's the time for the volleyball players to take the center stage. It's time for us. Now that the pedestal is set, we need to push them onto the stage. We need to take a back step. We need to make sure that the lights are not turned off on them. Right now, it's good. The lights are on them. There's a lot of kids who are looking at them. They're watching them. They're going out and playing right after the match. If you look at it, I don't know if you've done your survey, but if you just ask some of the sports stores, how is the sales of volleyball? It's skyrocketed, and that's a very good sign, right? That's a very good sign for the kids, because I believe kids these days need choices, and I think what we're doing is trying to provide that choice. So over to you, Sarah.
I just
want
want
to add here.
Yes, please.
See, I was just in one of the interviews, there was one good question came, like in cricket, you get one chance. Like if you are out of the game.
Right.
But in volleyball, you have chances. One set gone, second set kelo, second set gaya, third set kelo. And the player, whoever has not performed.
Thunderbolts has finished in the third set. That's a problem for us. But yeah, you're
Sir, honestly
right.
speaking, on this Volleytalk show, I am telling you, yesterday I was talking to Safir, and incidentally, Tuhin had taken that video also. I told him that I have nothing to lose. If I get defeated from you, I'll come in the history pages otherwise also. And if I defeat you, the history will start with me. So, yesterday was just another day for us. Our players were in better form. Otherwise, to beat Safir in southern India after one defeat is something impossible. Like it is beating Abhi on Hyderabad is something, you have to have a very high luck, and that day the lady luck has to be with you, and that is only possible, boss. I do not take any credit of any strategy yesterday. It was just another good day for us, and it was just a bad day for Safir. Otherwise, a team which has come up 5-0 in just their last match get defeated 3-0. Unbelievable. And that too Safir's team. Can't believe it. With a coach like Kishore, who is more active off the ground than the players. So, like it was dream, I was seeing a dream, yesterday. So,
Pawan sir, I just like to take also a showcase for the audience, a quick video about the Hyderabad players as well. And though Abhishek sir, you mentioned a little, just let's have a quick video and a little chat on the Hyderabad players as well. that was a little bit about Hyderabad, star players. Would you like to talk about any one of them, Abhishek sir, and the impact that they have made in this inaugural season?
Sure. Actually, I particularly want to talk about John Joseph, which was sort of a topic where we left off with Ruben a couple of days back, where Ruben was saying that when John joined the camp to where he's evolved now, is he sees a tremendous growth. With Guru, he and with Amit, and Vipul as well. He talks about opportunities in across the globe, right? So these are big words coming from a coach who's been coaching for 30 years. He sees that the players are good enough at this point, a little here and there, some corrections, and you're good to be on the world stage. Um, as a team, we are already playing with our biggest deficiencies, which is we lost our number one pick and the number two pick. Most teams would have collapsed, as I said earlier, right? If we are here, that's because these kids can follow plays. I mean, if you really look at the kind of plays that the coach was setting, these are very alien to our kids. And the fact that they could pick up on these plays and then execute them, because I did hear that the older players would it be harder for them to pick it up, because it's sort of new for them, the new place. They blank out or get a brain freeze when you sort of think which play you're going to be playing. But not for these kids. I mean, they're a new generation. I mean, they can pick up things much more faster, understand the plays, and kind of put that into implementation. So extremely proud of what the kids can do right now. So
Uh, that's really amazing. So my next question is also something that you just touched upon briefly. So you said that they have a amazingly bright future ahead, and you never know that they get international contracts, and then sky is the limit for them. So my next question to both of you, in fact, is the same question: is what next after Prime Volleyball League? How do you plan to engage the players, or what about the grassroots system? Would you like to talk a little bit about what next after Prime Volleyball?
yeah, I
You
can
want
go
me to
go
go
first.
first? Yeah, he
Sure,
can do.
sure.
Yeah, Abhishek.
Um,
Abhishek,
yeah,
you go first, and then I'll go with Pawan sir.
Sure. I think the game in the state, particularly in Andhra and our Telugu states, it's sort of lost its focus for various reasons. We're keen to get that volleyball to mainstream sports and to give primetime attention to television as well, at the state level. So our next thought process is okay. So let me take a step back. When you said what's next, right? This is part of a clear strategy that we had rather than work on the grassroots, which if you sort of work on the grassroots, let's say I'm speaking from the Hyderabad locality area and all of the Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Let's say you pick a town like Karimnagar. You really work on the grassroots. You set up a lot of courts. You have a lot of people playing, but your influence is only in that area. By the time you influence a country this big with 1.4 billion people, it takes a really long time, right? So I believe the reason why I also invest into the leagues is because we need to get a top-down approach. We need to make this game look sexy on TV. We need to make this game look aspirational on TV. We want the kids to look up to these stars and feel like hey, I could do a lot more. I could be that star. I could be Guru. I could be Amit Gulia, right? So that's the sort of engagement we want with the kids. Now you take that approach. Now you put out a good product on TV. You take that approach. Now go back to the grassroots. In the grassroots, what we want to do is our next step is Telugu Premier League, which is going to be announced very soon officially. But you're hearing from me unofficially. That's the direction we're going. We're going to be setting up between Andhra and Telangana as well, a couple of teams. We're going to be doing what we did here at Prime Volleyball League, maybe not at this level, but definitely something that would attract good sponsorships, something that would attract OTT or television presence or whatever, right? So that's the direction. We go top, we set up the top. Now we are extremely proud of what we did. We're now going to the grassroots and setting it up.
Brilliant, sir. Brilliant. I love the thought process and the clear direction that you have. Great to know that, and I think I would say Hyderabad volleyball at least is in safe hands. I must say to you, Abhishek sir. Pawan sir, your thoughts on this? What next after Prime Volleyball League? Though I know it's not over for you, and I'm going to come to finals questions after this. But please tell what after Prime Volleyball League.
See, as Avi said, each of these seven teams have been advised by the Prime Volley League CEO, Joy Sir, that we must have a state level league at our places, like we have Kerala League announced today, then we have Tamil League, we have Telugu League. So I have asked for East League, East Prime Volley League, where I'll be doing leagues at two places in Assam, where Brahmaputra League is already very, very famous. And this I want to do in the Caribbean League style, where the venue will be shifting from one venue to second venue and third venue and fourth venue, because already 5,000 players under our mentor Abhijit Bhattacharya is already practicing and playing round the year matches. So it will be comparatively easier for me to take up at Assam and at this. Then we have tied up with the sports company like Decathlon and many big names who are helping us to develop it at grassroots level. And this, for the next 3 months, we are taking visits to about 200 schools in West Bengal, where we are going to distribute balls, jerseys, string, and with lucky draw, we are going to give them shoes and all, kit and all. So these children will get excited, and they will start taking up this as a another sports, because so far in India, uh, people were opting out of volleyball because they were thinking that this game is no future. But thanks to Prime Volley League, people have started talking about it. So I'll be doing two things. I'll be doing East Prime Volley League, and secondly, I'll be doing grassroots level also, because in Bengal, it is very, very popular game in urban as well as rural Bengal. So for me, I have to just tap couple of schools, and once the children starts playing volleyball, sir, I tell you, Bengal is a state. They are sports loving people. और अगर मैं कल मैच जीत गया सर, I tell you, it will convert volleyball as officially a game to play for, because then Bengalis, they only know one thing, Gaurav of Bengal, and they are so much motivated. They are sports loving people. So that is why I started my teaser by saying the word, I put my one day when the Calcuttas got up, there were 40, 50 hoardings, and all the hoardings were saying one word, Banglar ball badle geche. English meaning of this is, the ball of Bengal is changing. Imagine, sir, a hoarding of 2,000 square feet is having one monument of Victoria, and on top of that, that globe. We have put the volleyball and put the hoarding that Bangla ball badle geche. Or Sahid Minar, on top of that Sahid Minar, we put one volleyball and we said Bangla ball badle geche. Or, sir, for a big band tower which we have in Calcutta, we put one ball on top of that and we say, sir, Bangla ball badle geche. People started asking, what is the meaning of this? And then they could see that volleyball is there. Then we did some, sir, we got associated with Radio Mirchi. We ran that program for almost 50 days in Assam, Bengal, and 11 other cities. And each city we played with, sir. That program used to start from 12 o'clock morning and used to run till 11 o'clock night. Every 15 seconds, they used to take two places from that city, that from this part to this part, people are talking about only volleyball. Then we
Amazing.
introduced all the influencers, all the bloggers, and all the, people we engaged everywhere, just to make a shout out that look here, the Banglar ball badle geche. And the best part are, uh, we are basically here to build up a narrative. See, we what we want is that if this I can convince these Bengali people that they should adopt this game as their career, I tell you, sir, things will change very fast, because Bengal से अगर हवा उठना शुरू हो गया, तो things will change very fast.
Sir, to both of you, I just wanted to share this, and as both of you touched upon this. So, very recently, I was at a restaurant where a Prime Volleyball League was being streamed, and it was so heartwarming to know that the 7-year-olds who were watching, they were addressing in fact, Hyderabad's match was going on, and Guru hit a smash, and one of the child said to the other child that this Guru is amazing, is such a dynamic player, and whatnot. So it's when I think youngsters and kids especially start taking a recognition for players of volleyball as their future idol, I think that's where it's a long way to go. And both of hats off to both of you, sir, for building up such a wonderful structure of grassroots. And I think that's really amazing.
So
I'm
one,
going to come. Yes, yes, Pawan, sir. Sorry. Please. Go ahead.
I have officially announced yesterday in front of my players before I was giving them a pre-match address that I'm going to retire from business this year, and next 10 years I'm going to give this solely for volleyball. And sir, with the support of other team owners, sir, we are now, because it's a private league, sir, owners are also the franchise owners. So no decision will be taken which is against volleyball. And I tell you, sir, this concept has attracted me because when Association of Federation was involved, there were many questions. But this, the owners are also the franchise owner. So no owner in this league is going to take a decision which is going to be against volleyball, sir. So I see the future of volleyball very, very bright, sir. And it is in safest hand. And most of them are young, sir. So 30 years they can take this, carry forward this for next 20, baton 20, 25 years. So I'm really very happy, like Avi, Safi, these people, they are the young generation, sir. And they can carry this, miles this game, sir. I may not be
I,
there in this world, but
I
I'm
need to
sure.
stop Pawanji for 1 second here. He keeps referring to all of us as youngsters, but let me tell you, his enthusiasm and energy will beat all of us hands down every single day. I mean, if we are going to be slightly older and get to where he is, which is not many years from me, but I would wish to be like that. I mean, that's the sort of energy that he brings in. I mean, if you see his enthusiasm that he wants to make a difference, and what he made that statement right there, that he's willing to give up his business and focus on volleyball, that does wonders for a lot of kids out there. Not just how he's talking influencing in Kolkata and the East, which I mean, if what he says is true, which is if the ball changes from cricket to, let's say, to
No,
soccer and
from football, sir. In
yeah,
my
cricket,
concurrence,
soccer
from
and
football.
volleyball, yeah, exactly. And if I mean, see, there's a space for all of these three sports as well. It's not one against each other, right? I mean, he
There are no
recognizes
competition.
that. Absolutely. And what he's talking about is giving that spotlight and space for volleyball as well, giving choices for kids to go beyond this one or two sports. And if somebody of his stature actually comes into this sport and says, hey, I'm giving up my business, something that I've worked so hard for the last 30 years to do this, and then I'm going ahead to put my energy and focus into something I love. I mean, this is year one. I can't imagine what he's going to do in the next 10 years and where he's going to take this sport. And we're all really grateful for you, sir, for those beautiful words. But it's
Uh,
amazing. Thank you so much.
Abhishek, I need to show the viewers one very interesting thing that you mentioned about Pawan sir's energy and enthusiasm. I have a clipping to show to everyone. Here it
Hey
goes.
guys,
That too.
we just made the final!
Pawan sir,
The difference, Saurabh, there is that all of those players would have stopped dancing, but he's still dancing, by the way.
absolutely. Uh, Pawan sir, I want to ask you about the lucky spectacles as well. What's the secret of that, sir?
Yeah, this one, sir. I tell you, sir. This I wanted you are to ask me one question on this. Yesterday when I was on the ground court, every umpire, every referee, they came to me. They said, "Sir, can I have one selfie with you?" I said, "Go ahead." And then while they're taking the selfie, they're saying in my ear, "Sir, एक गॉगल लेकिन हमको दे के जाना, आपने रोज गॉगल बदली किया है, एक गॉगल हमको दे के जाना." And I said, "Boss, इसको छोड़ के तुम जो बोलोगे दे दूंगा." And when I see them, no, so I offer them that चलो selfie में तुम पहनो. And yesterday, sir, I changed this goggle, I exchanged this goggle with about 12 people. They put this on, they took a selfie, and then they said, "Sir, this goggle is beautiful."
Amazing,
Sir,
amazing.
I just wanted to
Easy
tell
on you.
the fans and everyone here, sir, I wanted people to understand that if a 60 years man can be so excited, and not just an ordinary man, a learned man, successful businessman, successful industrialist, if he is enjoying on the ground so much, what is the future of this game. So this was the message, and for this only I was doing that all those madness, because I wanted to spread a message that if I can enjoy being a youth, for you it is going to be the most exciting game in the years to come, sir.
Absolutely, sir. I think sports does that.
Yeah,
In the last 1 year, there's been a lot of talk on mental health, etc. But being a sportsman myself, I realize that when you play sports, it drastically improves one person's mental health. So I think volleyball is a
yeah,
fantastic sport to really, not just in terms of playing professionally, but as a recreational hobby to improve oneself. Volleyball is a great sport. I'm going to just quickly go into the next question. That is the finals question, and I have some interesting stats to show you. So here it goes. Uh, we had this. This was the last match between yesterday, Calicut and Kolkata. And let me just quickly go into the final match. Sorry, this was the stats of Ahmedabad and Hyderabad match. Both the semifinals. Uh, Very interesting stats. I'm not going to go into too much of details because these matches are over. But let me go straight into this particular match, yeah, which is for tomorrow. So let's just talk a little bit about this. What do you make about this Ahmedabad versus Calcutta? How is it going to be? Pawan sir, I'm going to come to you second. I'm going to Abhi sir first and get a outside perspective first, and then come to Pawan. Abhi sir, over to you. What do you make of this? All these things.
Yeah, these are quite interesting stats, by the way. But if you look at it, they're quite evenly matched, except for the service errors that you see, 56 and 85, and I also see the block errors as well. Ahmedabad 102 versus 69. Um, you know what? These are all good when it comes to here. On screen, on paper, you've seen some of the really good teams that was slated to be, winning the cup, not even making it to the semifinals. So these are all good, but what's the beauty of the way the volleyball is structured for Prime Volleyball League is that it's not just volleyball, it's volleyball for TV, which means that we've got the super points, which gives you the two additional points, and the super serve, which gets you the two additional serves, two additional points as well. Anything can happen. On that day, whoever holds, their medal, ensures that they don't make many errors is the one that's going to be. I know I'm sort of leaning towards a politically correct statement here, but what I'm trying to get to is that it's hard to judge. I mean, yesterday I've never in my wildest dreams thought 3-0, and even more so from 9-1. I mean, that's just off the chart. So what can happen on that day is who is going to hold the nerve. And for me, that those stats more than that, I think how Pawanji is going to give his speech to his to his players and motivate them, and it all depends. It's all those little things that matter when you go out there. So I really hope the best for both of them. And over to you, Pawan.
Pawanji, would you like to share your thoughts? And Abhishek sir, last 5 minutes, if it's okay with you. I know you
Yeah,
have a hard stop.
yeah,
Just last 5 minutes, if it's okay with you.
so
Yes, Pawan.
as Avi said, I totally agree, but one particular area we were lagging behind was service error. Yesterday we just had two service error, and that was controlled. And otherwise both the team statistics are looking more or less common, and as I totally agree, it is just the day on the match, how the players sentiments are and how it affects their nerve, that decides. But sir, having said that, for me the final was over yesterday, sir. Tomorrow, whether I win or lose, it will be only a difference whether I am champion or I am second. Defeating Calicut second time is bigger journey for me than anything else, boss. And that too, as Avi said, from 9-1 to 11-11 and get the set. But if you have seen me on TV yesterday, I was one point I lost my hopes that ye set to chala gaya. But then these boys really came up. So that is not because that Calicut team is so bad. It was their day. So I just hope that the lady luck and the nerves are under control tomorrow. And if everything goes well, both teams are equal. Now it is very difficult to speculate who is going to win. So let the best team win. That's the best thing I can say. And about errors, we are aware of these errors. We are taking all care, sir. And tomorrow we are going to show highest level of sportsman spirit on the ground, off the ground. That I can assure you.
Absolutely, sir. I'm so looking forward to seeing not just the match but also you, sir. I'll come to the last part of today's Volley Talk session, and like I promised the audience, we are going to have some fun. This is going to be a rapid fire quiz sort of a contest between Pawan sir and Abhishek sir. I hope, sirs, you are ready for it. How it works is initially I'm going to ask you questions per individual wise. Yeah, if you answer it correct, you get 1 point. All right, and then I'm going to open it out. Fastest finger first. Whoever says first will win. All right, and we have some special prizes.
Although if this is volleyball questions, my volleyball knowledge is very bad.
This is from your team's questions. Okay.
Okay.
Prime Volleyball League and your team's questions is all of this. All right. So let's go, sir. Let's have fun. Okay. So the first question.
And how do we say that who's going to speak? Like in the
I will say. I'll manage it. I'll manage it. Don't worry. So my first question is to Pawan sir. So who is the most who has scored the maximum number of points in Kolkata team? Is it Ashwal Rai or Vinit Kumar?
Vinit Kumar.
Vinit Kumar is the correct answer. 83 points, I must tell to all the audience, Vinit Kumar has scored. That's amazing. So, Pawan sir, your score is 1. I'll ask the same question to Abhishek sir. Who is the most point scorer in Hyderabad team? Is it SP Guru Prasad or is it Amit Kulia?
That's Guru Prasad.
Yes, absolutely correct. That is also and Guru Prasad has scored 76 points overall. That's an amazing feat. Let's go back to I'll go next to Abhishek sir first. Okay, who is the player with maximum block points with the Hyderabad team?
That's John.
Yes, John Joseph is absolutely correct with 17 block points. Pawan sir, question to you. The player with maximum service points in the Calcutta team.
Rahul.
Rahul is absolutely correct. 14 points. Well done, sir. You guys are amazing. Okay, now it's going to get a little more exciting. It's anybody can answer. Okay, but if you answer it first and if you answer it correct, you get +1. But if you answer it wrong, you get -1 points. So let's make it a little more interesting. So who amongst Hyderabad and Kolkata have a better receive percentage? Better receive percentage, Hyderabad or Kolkata?
Hyderabad.
Okay, so Hyderabad is said by Pawan sir first. I heard Hyderabad on Pawan sir first, but it is the wrong answer actually. It is Kolkata who has a better receive percentage currently. Yeah, so
I get -1.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Okay,
We should look up the stats actually.
Okay, so next, which amongst you two team have more defensive digs? From
I would say
More
Hyderabad.
defensive.
Hyderabad.
More defensive.
More defensive digs.
Okay.
Like
Dicks.
digs.
Yeah. Understood.
Okay, Hyderabad is the correct answer. Abhishek sir, yes, that is the correct answer. Okay, who has the most attack points amongst you two?
That's
Calcutta.
Kolkata.
Pawan sir, I heard you first, so I'm going to give you +1 on this. Okay, who has the more block points amongst you two?
Hyderabad.
Calcutta.
Okay, I heard Hyderabad first, and Hyderabad is the correct answer. So well done, Abhishek sir. Super. Okay, last 2 questions. Okay, at this time, Abhishek sir, you are in lead of 2 points. So I'll make this a little more interesting. Per question, we get 2 points. Okay, yeah. So which team?
That's a super point, is it?
Super point. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. My last 3 questions. Okay, so my first question on this is: which team has made the maximum number of substitutions?
Number of what? Subscription?
Maximum number of
Substitutions.
Kolkata.
Hyderabad.
Oh, between
Hyderabad.
Kolkata and Hyderabad? Or
Okay, sorry. No, in general, in the league. Okay, it's neither Hyderabad nor Kolkata.
Yes. That's Kochi.
Anybody. Calicut. Calicut.
I was
So
Kochi.
both of you get it wrong. Yeah, the correct answer is Bengaluru. Bengaluru has made the maximum number of substitutions. Okay.
Okay.
My next question is, in fact, between the two of you. Okay, I'm giving a hint here. Who has made the least number of substitutions?
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad is correct. Hyderabad is the correct answer. And my last answer is not from you two, but who has won the maximum best player award from which team? Who has won the maximum
Vinit
best player
Kumar.
awards across the leagues?
Vinit Kumar and Guru. Guru and Vinit Kumar.
I think Guru won.
Guru.
Guru won 3. Vinit Kumar won 3.
Guru won through.
Or
Yeah, so both of them have won 3 each, actually. But the maximum best player awards so far have been won by Ahmedabad, actually. Yeah. So.
I thought it was between both the teams actually. Okay.
Oh,
Fair
okay.
enough.
So
Okay.
overall. So, my last question, which has no points. Yeah. Your final bet or who is going to win the match tomorrow? Your predictions.
I know what Pawan sir is going to say, but I'm thinking 3-2 towards Ahmedabad,
Okay. Pawan sir, your final predictions.
and I hope Mr. Pawan wins his prediction.
Absolutely. Pawan sir, your final predictions.
Since I am directly interested party, I'll say let the best team win. I will be neutral on this.
No. You can't say that. You have to give us your prediction. By the way.
Yeah. Prediction with the game
I
scores.
think, sir, I'll take it this way. It will be 3-2 tomorrow, but Calcutta will be the winner.
Absolutely. I wish you, Pawan sir, and also the Ahmedabad team as well, all the very best for tomorrow. And I think let the best team win. Pawan sir and Abhishek sir, it was an absolute delight to host you today at Volleytalks. I want to just say one thing to both of you. Your vision and your dedication towards the sport is commendable and is an inspiration to so many of us who are watching this live as well. Thank you for doing such a, thank you for contributing so much for the sport of volleyball. And, hats off to your vision. And I want to thank both of you for sparing the time for Volleytalks and joining me live here on this one. It was an absolute pleasure to host you both, sir.
Thank you, Saurav.
Thank you, Saurav.
Thanks for joining.
Thank
It
you
was
so
pleasure
much.
being with you. It was good interview, sir. And it is, thank you so much for calling us, both of us, giving us an opportunity to put forth our own opinion about the game and everything. One thing I'm sure, whether I win or whether Ahmedabad win, but one thing was imminent and clearly visible, volleyball won this first league.
Well said, sir. Well
I
said.
think we got
Absolutely.
better eyeballs. We got like people who have not played volleyball. They send me messages कि पवन यार उसको हटा अरविंदम को हटा यार वो अच्छा नहीं खेल रहा है असवाल बोला यार तेरे को मालूम क्या वॉलीबॉल का. So these are good signs, when people start interpreting the match, they start become the mentor and the coach sitting at the TV screen. That is the time you understand that yes, the perception about the game is changing slowly.
Very true. And once again, I want to say both of you are going to be torch bearers as well as for volleyball. And Pawan sir, your one statement of dedicating your valuable and precious time.
No, sir, that's I mean, and this is now recorded also. So I really mean it, sir.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank
All
you
right,
so much.
sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.